Hello, I'm Noemi Bates, and during this King Yoga Experience event, I will be speaking about the advanced civilizations in our solar system. But before we leave the confines of this earth, I would like to take you on another journey, the journey of within. And during our practice session, I'll guide you through mystic visualizations, which you'll find in the book Realize Inner Potential by Dr. George King, this Western master of yoga, after whom our society, the Aetherius Society, who founded the Aetherius Society. And this book was also written by his close student and friend, Richard Lawrence. So I'll ask you now, if you'd like to take part in this practice session, to sit up straight in your chair, with palms facing downwards on your knees, with fingers spread out, eyes closed, and just make the breath deep and even, breathing through the nose. And just see how you feel. Do you feel relaxed, calm, or tense? Just become aware of your body, allowing any tension in the body just melt away. Detach from your surroundings and go within. And let's start with the feet and slowly work upwards, identifying any tension in the body. For example, if your right foot is tense, give yourself a mental suggestion to relax. My right foot is relaxing. Feel the tension melt away. It's very important to be able to relax. Just continue with your visualization. Slowly work upwards, identifying any tension that exists, giving yourself a mental suggestion to relax and feel the tension dissipating. Feel yourself in peace. Surround yourself in gentle peace. And allow yourself to relax. Detach from all other thoughts. Don't engage with them or analyze them. Just allow them to pass away. Keeping your focus on your body. If any negative thought pops into your head, imagine an invisible hand, a magnetic hand, pulling it back through the solar plexus center, which is just above the navel. Just get hold of this negative thought and pull it back. Don't force it, but pull it back. into the solar plexus center, and then transmute it with white light or violet flame. It's a great practice which will help to declutter the mind and get rid of unwanted thoughts. This practice and all the others will do today, you'll find in the Realize Unipotential book, as taught to us by Dr. George King, this Western master of yoga. So just relax the body. And now, turn our focus to our breathing. Make the inhalation the same length as the exhalation, breathing through the nose. Expand the lungs as you breathe in, and pull in the diaphragm lightly upon exhalation to squeeze gently as much air as possible from the lungs, making the breath long and even to a measured count, without straining yourself. Drawing into yourself prana, universal life force, while we do this deep breathing practice. Very simple, yet so potent. And this breathing practice is part of a set of breathing exercises devised by Dr. George King, published in the Realize Unipotential book, in which he says, this first exercise is designed to create internal harmony by breathing in and out in a measured way. This rhythmic breath will help to purify the nervous system and bring about a great feeling of peace and tranquility, never so quickly attained before. Continue with your deep breathing. Drawing universal life force into yourself, charging up every cell of your being. Bringing you peace and harmony. Now let's combine our deep breathing with positive affirmation. Think to yourself, I am now purifying my mind and body. I am now purifying my mind and body. Mentally repeat this on your in and out breath. I am now purifying my mind and body. Really believe this, because that's exactly what you are now doing. You are now purifying your mind and body. Just for a moment, notice your posture. Make sure that you're sitting up straight. The head is slightly tilted back, relieving any tension from the shoulders. As you do your deep breathing, continue thinking to yourself, I am now purifying my mind and body. And let's add another element to this practice by visualizing a living white light. See this pure white light come in through your nose as you breathe in, filling your whole being. Pure, living, scintillating white light. Draw it into yourself on your in-breath. And continue with the affirmation, I am now purifying my mind and body. I am now purifying my mind and body. Making the breath long and even. Charging yourself up with prana. And this time visualize this pure white light flowing down from space, flowing down into the head, down the neck, the shoulders, the body, down the legs and out through the feet. See yourself, feel yourself encased in pure white light as you continue with your deep breathing and your affirmation. I am now purifying my mind and body. I am now purifying my mind and body. Do not strain. Just allow this pure white light flow down through you and around you. As Dr. King said, great things we can do if we believe in the power within ourselves at this moment. Let's Let's now stop with this visualization and affirmation and tune into the planet Earth, which is a living, breathing entity. It has feelings. The planets in our solar system are also living entities, and the inhabitants have learned to tap the radiations of the Logos, the life force of their planet. To a more limited degree, we can also benefit from the radiations of the Mother Earth as we bathe ourselves in her violet flame. Gently but firmly, visualize a violet-colored flame coming up from the ground beneath your feet. Try to feel this flame, not as a burning sensation, but as velvet fingers caressing your body and aura. Draw the power of this violet flame up through your body and aura to a spot about 20 or 30 feet above your head. Try to see it, try to feel it, and physically hear it. It will sound like a flame flickering. You may also be able to smell this violet flame. As you bathe yourself in this, just observe any sensation you may have. Imagine this flame as a mighty flame of cosmic power, surging and pulsating through the whole of your structure. Do not force it, but allow it to flow up through your body, through your aura. Because by correctly performing this ancient practice, you will be cleansed of all impurity on a mental and psychic level. Violet flame is also an excellent protective practice. Can you feel it? See it? Can you smell it or hear it? It is as real as the very planet upon we are now residing. Bathe yourself in this beautiful and very beneficial flame. It's freely offered to us by the compassionate Mother Earth. We can can perform this practice as often as we wish, even on a public transport. Just close the eyes and visualize this sacred fire flow up through the body and aura. And when you are ready, just open the eyes. And let's complete this practice session with a Tibetan mudra or hand sign by brushing the right palm away from you against the left. Well, thank you very much for joining in with this practice, and please feel free to leave any comments or any experiences you have had or any questions you might have. So the earth is a living, breathing entity. So are the planets in our solar system, which are inhabited by advanced civilizations. But why can't we see them? We've seen images sent back from NASA's Perseverance rover depicting the planet Mars as a barren, lifeless world. So why can't we see the advanced civilizations there? Where are they? We must remember that we live in a conscious universe which is teeming with life. Life as we know it on our planet, life as we don't yet know, life that we cannot see because they exist on either higher or lower frequency of vibration, life that we cannot yet detect with our instruments. I'll give you an example much closer to home. If you now look around your room, you see the furnishing in your room. You also see the people living with you. But what about those people who you can't see or you're not aware of? I'm referring to the other planes associated with this earth, the different realms where people go to when they pass on. When we die, we leave our physical body behind, but the intelligence, the consciousness, with all its experiences, continues living. And depending how we lived our life on this physical level, we will be drawn to the realm or plane of existence, be it higher or lower. And the cycle of rebirth continues. When we're ready to be reborn to this physical realm, we do so, we go through another life, and then we pass on, and so forth, until we have learned all the lessons we can learn on this earth, because this planet is really a classroom for us all to experience life and to advance. And once we have reached the pinnacle of our advancement on this earth, we go through an initiation called ascension, when we are given an opportunity to continue our experience cycle on a much more advanced planet, like the planet Mars. So everything in creation is going through experience. All life expressing itself in multitudinous forms, be it humans, be it animals, plants, even our very planet and the sun. Everything is going through experience and learning. Within the great law of karma, there is nothing outside of it. And along our journey called life, we're gaining vital experience until we go back to the source from where we all came. As Dr. King said, eventually, even though it might take us hundreds and hundreds of billions of trillions of lives, eventually, all we go on to the path and gradually go upward like a flame, or go back to its source again, which of course is the Godhead. That's the source of all. So when we speak about life on other planets, we must remember that life is different throughout the universe. Even Winston Churchill expressed great interest on life on other planets and have studied this topic quite extensively, although his paper on the subject, Are We Alone in the Universe, was never published. In this he wrote, I, for one, am not so immensely impressed by the success we are making of our civilization here, that I am prepared to think we are the only spot in this immense universe which contains living, thinking creatures, or that we are the highest type of mental and physical development which has ever appeared in the vast compass of space and time. So life on other planets will be different to the life on our Earth because the conditions, the environmental conditions for one, are very different to the environmental conditions on our Earth. Beings on other worlds like Mars and Venus, Jupiter, and even Saturn have advanced over the millennia to such a degree that they're able to raise their vibrations, they're able to exist on a much higher frequency of vibration that we are able to do on our planet. But these beings are able to travel between planes or between realms, be it higher or lower. So the information I'm going to share with you today about life on other planets was given by Dr. George King, and also through him. Dr. King had unique mediumistic abilities, who acted as a channel for cosmic intelligences for over 40 years. He was able to project from his body and retain his full memory of his experiences, which he describes in his book, You Are Responsible. When he visited our moon, he visited the planet Mars and Venus. And I highly recommend you to read this book because it's truly full of gems. Dr. King developed his abilities through the practice of yoga, higher forms of yoga. Hatha yoga, which is the physical postures, Kundalini yoga, mantra yoga, chanting, pranayama, yoga breathing, earlier in our practice session, and so forth. He was able to raise Kundalini, this female force, which is lodged in the base of the spine, up through the spine, through the chakras, in full, into a higher chakra, and attain the deep state of meditation known as samadhi. And then he was able to raise Kundalini even further up, to enter cosmic consciousness. And his experience, how he attained it, and what he experienced during this very elevated state, cosmic consciousness, is described in his book, The 9 Freedoms. So Dr. King developed his abilities for 10 years, practicing yoga for 8 to 9 hours a day, while he was holding down a full-time job as well. So he was a very unique individual, a very unique master. So let's look now, what is life really like on the planet Mars? And as we do, let's just try to make a comparison between life on our planet and life on Mars. The Martians are the great engineers of this solar system. Some 75% of interplanetary craft are manufactured on the planet Mars. They're also great scientists and masters of thought control. They use thought-controlled robots to perform various tasks. And just to give you a small example of a capability of a Martian scientist, he could sit beneath the surface of the planet, some 150 miles, in a small room, and direct a spacecraft or indeed a fleet of craft outside of this solar system by thought. And these scientists are capable of performing even more complex tasks by thought. We must admit that none of our scientists on Earth are capable of such a feat. As you can imagine, they also use advanced machinery on Mars. For example, they can set up a piece of machinery which is run by an electronic brain for 50,000 years. And they wouldn't have to touch it, they wouldn't have to make any adjustments to it, because it would be self-adjusting and even self-lubricating using light rays. Unfortunately, again, we don't have anything like that on our planet, and if our car runs out of petrol or diesel, we do have to fill it up. So unfortunately, it's not self-lubricating. As mentioned, they are great engineers and they manufacture spacecraft, which, by the way, because there is no monetary system on Mars, they give it freely to any planet they need it. So their spacecraft could be 300 or 400,000 years old, and they are made out of organic material. So if a piece breaks off, it would grow back. Is that not amazing? What an advanced material that is, organic material. Absolutely fantastic. So the machinery on the planet Mars and the machinery we have on our planet is very, very different. So let's now look at the spiritual outlook of the Martians. And for that, I would like to play a short extract from a lecture by Dr. George King on the planet Mars. And this was given on October the 19th, 1962.
Now, what about the psychological makeup of these people and their outlook on life? First of all, do they believe in God? The answer is most certainly yes. But they have a different outlook on God than we do on this earth. That's why they're more advanced, or that's one reason why they're more advanced. They believe that God is the profound simple. In other words, they believe that God is all things and all things are God. They believe that there can be nothing except God in the whole macrocosmic system, even though things are on different stages of evolution, in different vibrations, even in different dimensions or systems of dimension. They still believe that this is God. And it is all God. And I might say that this is a universal belief in this solar system, with the exception of in the backward class, which of course is Earth. Mars, on the whole, the people are, I would not say thousands. My personal belief is that they are millions of years in advance of we people upon Earth, in as much as they have tapped the radiations from the logos of the planet. So when we talk about the Martians, we are talking about really great people, truly great people. People who go out of their way to admit, of course, that they are not in any way perfect, but they are gradually evolving towards perfection, as we are. And they've tapped the radiations from the logos of their planet and bathed themselves in this, what we would call, on Earth, a violet flame, only the Martian is capable of doing it in the right way. He doesn't have to rely on his imagination in this way because he has a temple built near the center of Mars, and in that particular temple he can recharge himself, rejuvenate his body. If after using his body for a couple of 1,000 years, I repeat 2,000 years, he wishes to vacate it, he will vacate this body, consciously split up the cellular structure of the body, and consciously rebuild himself another body and inhabit it for maybe 2,000 more years, 4,000 more years, 6,000 more years, doesn't matter, whatever he wishes. He might want to make for himself 2 bodies and put one on Earth and have one on Mars and remotely control the body on Earth. He can do this. In fact, this is being done.
Brilliant extract by Dr. King. So the Martians, they don't need to eat. They mainly live on 2 sets of vibrations, prana, or universal life force, which they breathe in. So the Martians do breathe. But they can also take it in directly through their chakras. And as we just heard, another way is by tuning in and bathing themselves in the radiations of the logos, the life force of their planet. There are no graveyards on Mars. There is no political system on Mars. And they live in peace and harmony upon the planet Mars. They are a peaceful race. So are the other races, other civilizations in our solar system. And we are very fortunate, because if they were belligerent, we would have no chance. But they're loving, peaceful beings. And as we just heard, Dr. King mentioned that the difference between people on Earth and people on Mars is millions of lives. So how do the Martians help us? They are limited how they can help us because of karma. Not their own karma, but the karma of humanity. But then collective negative karma that we have created over the centuries through war, through jealousy, through hate, through greed. They can't land openly and give their help, give their assistance, but they can help us in other ways. For example, a large spacecraft called Satellite Number 3 comes into orbit of our world 4 times a year. We call these times spiritual pushes, and you could see these on your screen. This craft comes 1,550 miles from the surface of Earth, and it's egg-shaped craft, about 2.5 miles long, and is manned by very advanced scientists. And in charge of this spacecraft is Mars Sector 6. We can't see it, but we can feel the energies. And as you can see from the illustration, prana, or universal life force, comes in from the sun, is conditioned through various crystals inside the spacecraft, and then in a potentized form is beamed down to Earth. So anyone praying, performing unselfish action, will advance 3,000 times more quickly during a spiritual push than outside of it. So Satellite Number 3 helps us in this way to enable us to enhance our spiritual work by 3,000 times. And in these days, it is service, which is so essential. And it is a vital part of any balanced program of spiritual development. It's absolutely essential. So when the Martian body becomes so fine, so vibrant, so potentized, they can move on to a more advanced planet for further experience. Planet like the planet Venus, because the inhabitants of Venus are even more advanced race than the Martians. I would like to take now a short reading. It's a channeled communication by a Venusian intelligence called the Master Theorius, which is published in You Are Responsible. And he speaks about education on Venus and about interplanetary policy. When the cosmic masters came to Venus from Saturn, we welcomed them and they built for us a crystal temple exactly in that position where we could contact the supreme logos of the planet. We have been using these spiritual emanations ever since. We incorporate the emanations coming from the supreme logos of Venus into our daily lives, and especially into our educational systems. We also use symbolism in education, and we have found that the shape you call the triangle is indeed one of the most important shapes in the planetary system at the present time. So we arrange our classes like this. We have the master sitting at the head. His leading pupil forms the apex of the triangle. Two more pupils form the base of the triangle. Now these pupils are carefully picked out by what you call metaphysical analysis, brought about by the master. On Venus, we do not ever eat meat. We have evolved past that stage. We live on solar energy direct. Some of our younger ones eat and drink the juice from certain berries, and the juice which is given off by certain trees. But apart from that, the tremendous emanations radiating from the great temple in the valley of the sun afford our sustenance. Our religion is a simple one, which has been built upon the foundation that God is all. God as absolute is the one cosmic simple. There cannot be anything else outside of this original cause. Everyone has exactly what he needs to have. This is the basis of our economic system. So the Venusians are great masters, wonderful teachers who travel the Milky Way, spreading their light, their teaching, sharing the benefit of their enlightenment with those who welcome them with an open heart and mind. They also help us, masters like Jesus and Buddha, who lived upon our earth. They came from the planet Venus. They came not in their full aspect, but only part of their aspect, their fourth aspect, was introduced into the life cycle of Earth, so that they can perform their mission, give their wonderful teaching, which so many around the world are now following. One of the reasons they could not come in their full aspect, because they would destroy everyone on this planet because of their tremendous radiations. Destroy not because they want to harm people, on the contrary, they are peace-loving people, but because of their vibrant, very powerful emanations and radiations. And also humanity is not yet ready for such a contact. So they, in a way, they had to come under disguise, as it were, but they still, in their fourth aspect, they shine above men. They were great, truly great beings. So how can we create these wonderful conditions I've described to you on our own planet? How can we build heaven on earth? And for that I would like to play a short communication or transmission, as we call it, by Mars Sector 6, this Martian intelligence, entitled Heaven on Earth. And this was given through Dr. King while he adopted a deep samadhic trance condition so that this intelligence could speak through him. This was given on December the 9th, 1956.
Imagine, oh brothers, your earth being at peace. Imagine, oh brothers, all men upon your earth having perfect bodies and perfect minds and perfect memory throughout the long ages of their existence. Imagine, oh brothers, you visiting other planets and consulting them and trading with these planets and bringing back to your earth metals which will never oxidize, bringing back crystals which will give you 10,000 times the power of any atom, so that all power upon Terra is equally distributed. This is the dream which can become a manifestation. If the few exert enough influence over the many in peaceful ways, by prayer, through meditation, through service, through the absorption of the very energies I am controlling at the moment. If ever I saw a planet which was a yearning for some spiritual leadership, then that planet is Terra in these hours.
What a beautiful visualization, and what a beautiful dream which we can manifest on our earth only if we follow the wonderful law of karma. As you sow, so shall you reap. If karma was taught in schools, people would think differently, would act differently, because they would know the consequences of their actions. If we tune in to the energies, potentized energies, during spiritual push times, when satellite number 3 is in orbit of our world, we can enhance our spiritual actions 3,000 times, not only helping ourselves, but also helping humanity, raising the consciousness of humanity, sending out healing energy, light energy to our world through world healing. Another way we can help to bring this wonderful dream described to us by Mars Sector 6 upon our planet. To finish off, I would like to send out world healing by visualizing white light flowing through us, and then send it out, send healing out to the country of Ukraine. If you'd like to join in, please raise your hands as such, palms facing forward, fingers together. Close the eyes and just visualize a stream of pure white light flowing down the head, down the neck, the arms, and out through the palms of the hands where we have chakras, psychic centers. Also visualize this white light flowing down into the heart chakra, and see this energy flowing forth through the palms of the hands and through the heart chakra to the world. See the whole planet filled with this power. See this imbued in this pure, scintillating white light. Bring peace, bring harmony to all residing upon the surface of this beautiful world. And condition it with the power of love. Send this pure white light through you in love and compassion to our world. And let's now turn our focus to the country of Ukraine, where there is war is brewing. But do not see this country in war and people suffering, but visualize this in peace, people living in harmony with one another, in great abundance and joy. Let's give power to our positive visualization as we want this country to be. And as we do this, as we continue sending forth the stream of scintillating white light through us, I say this prayer. O divine creator of all life, we pray that your healing power flow through us now unrestrictedly to the country of Ukraine. We pray that may this energy fill the hearts, the mind and body of people, protecting them, helping them in these crises, in their time of need, giving them strength, giving them shelter, food and aid they need at this time. And we pray, O divine Lord, O holy Parabrahma, that the leaders of Russia and Ukraine find a common ground. May they be guided by their real selves, by their higher selves, to be inspired, to bring back peace to Ukraine. O holy God, Almighty Jehovah, we thank you for using us as channels of your wondrous light energy, love energy, to bring peace, to bring freedom and healing to Ukraine. And open the eyes and perform the sealing mudra, brushing the right palm against the left. And especially at this time, I think we should all send out healing and our prayers to Ukraine, where people are desperately needed at this time, and we can make a difference. We're not trying to change anyone's mind, but we are praying that the leaders of these countries be inspired by their higher selves and be guided by their intuition to do the right thing, So this we can all do. So it has now come to the questions and answer session. And I've noticed there are loads of comments, so I'll start from the top. James is saying, I'm not sure how the Indians knew the sound AUM was the sound of creation, but you can sometimes hear it rushing through nature like a stream of consciousness. Yes, Dr. King confirmed it, that in meditation he heard the sound of AUM, the sound of creation. And it must be a very beautiful state indeed to be in, to be able to hear this beautiful sound. So there's a reference to Dr. King wearing sunglasses. He did that when he adopted a samadhic trance, because he adopted this condition, entered samadhi, while he was at Caxton Hall, front of audience, hundreds of people, 300 people, something like that, were at Caxton Hall, while he was still in England, and they channeled a cosmic master through him, and he would wear dark glasses, because he needed all his concentration to focus on a beam, a carrier beam, which contained the thought beam of that communicating intelligence. And his whole concentration was on that. He was totally detached from his conscious mind, so it wouldn't discolor the message that he received. So in that state, he wanted to be as detached as he possibly could be from his surroundings, and one of the reasons why he was wearing dark glasses. A fire that doesn't burn a brush. If there is a reference to the violet flame, yes, the violet flame it's not burning, it's gentle, velvety fire. Yet we are referring, yes, it is a flame. And in the book, Visit to the Logos of Earth, Dr. King describes his experience while he was in a projected state, and he had this unique opportunity to have a small glimpse into the life force of this planet. And it's beautifully described what he experienced, what he saw in a Visit to the Logos of Earth book. Churchill, yes, I quoted from Churchill. That was from his unpublished paper, but you can find it online. And this, yes, there's a reference to that. Churchill is not known for life on other planets or believing in life on other planets, but he was clearly a deep thinker. Not only a great leader during the Second World War, but he had also interests in other civilizations, life on other planets. Anyone heard of UFOs going into deep sea? I don't know what their purpose is for doing so, but it's a recorded sighting talked about. Yes, that's right. Even Dr. King mentions it. I believe it's off the coast of Japan, under the sea. And even in recent footages that have been released and recorded by Navy personnel, so it has been authenticated, and they are real and they are true. They have seen UFOs flying at tremendous speed, and then they just disappear in the ocean. So they have amazing abilities. They're able to travel between realms, almost like flicking in and out of existence. And they are also able to go under sea and travel at quite fast speed beneath the sea. So they have tremendous abilities, these cosmic masters, which they are. And there have been many, many sightings by people all around the world, seeing UFOs, spots of light, some people even describing the shape of the spacecraft, seeing it as a metal object. Some people have had some amazing experiences and sightings. James is saying some of them even seem to go where no one could possibly live, such as volcanoes, sun-like heat. You see, for them, they're exposed to 100% solar energy. We have the ionosphere around our Earth. We are protected from solar rays because we would not be able to withstand it. 100% solar radiation, we would not be able to withstand, but they can. Beings on other worlds, Mars, Venus, and so forth, they can. They bathe themselves in the vibrations, in the prana of the mighty sun, which is very, very powerful. So they have amazing abilities. Yes, I agree. Maisie, she said she finds it very uplifting. I must say, this is one of my favorite toppings, and it's one of my dreams. I'm sure you share this as well. Wouldn't it be wonderful to be able to visit other civilizations, see what do they look like, how do they live, what is their science? There's so much for us to learn. But the time will come when we will be able to do that. We will be able to visit other planets. Yes, indeed, we are bombarded with too much negative news. And but this is that what we live in. But we can do something about it. If we hear something negativity on the news, and if we're really honest, it is depressing. And our heart goes out to the poor people in Ukraine for their suffering. But we can do something about it. We've been taught how to send out spiritual energy, and we should. And it's such a positive message. We don't have to feel helpless. We can change the conditions on our earth. And we can, through the practices in the Realizing a Potential book, they're very safe to do. And they are very potent. If you do the breathing exercises every day, just as I do, charge yourself with prana, universal life force. We need to spiritualize ourselves, spiritualize our body, so that as gradually the ionosphere will come down, which it will, we'll be able to withstand the cosmic bombardment. And it won't harm us, but it will benefit us, it will nourish us. So it's a very, very positive message here. There are some more messages are coming through. Karma is not only real, it's common sense for making a sensible society. Very, very true. We have to learn that one thing, that we have to learn that karma is not here to punish us, it's here to teach us. That's why we're here. We're here to learn. And karma is putting us in certain, giving us certain experiences from which we can learn. So we don't have to keep going on a cycle of experiences. Once we have learned whatever that experience is offering us, then we can move on to a different set of experiences. Can the other civilizations in the solar system help us during this time? They do. They're continually helping us. As mentioned by satellite number 3 coming into orbit of our world. Also, we are benefiting from the radiations of the beings on other planets, like on Jupiter. I will speak more about that, about this planet life on Jupiter in a follow-up event. But on Jupiter, they send out perfume energy, color, and also sound, music. And those who are in tuned enough on this planet can be inspired by it. We can all be inspired by it. We just have to tune in. We need to be sensitive enough to be able to tune in to the high vibrations that is sent down to us by other planets. Someone is asking about the spiritual push dates. Perhaps Jamie, who's on technical, can put it up on screen again. But you also find it on our website, aetherius.org, and satellite number 3 comes into orbit of our world 4 times a year, and those are the times. Look, this person is... I'm pretty new to this. I was looking for a book on the violet flame. I do not have a job, so can anyone point out a good place to get a second hand? Just what we did. Just visualize the violet flame. Just close the eyes and tune into it. And visualize it flowing up through you, just as we did in our practice session. And you can bathe in that radiation of the logos of our planet for as long as you wish. And more you focus on the violet flame, more you will get out of it. You'll have certain experiences. It's absolutely beautiful. Highly recommend it. Some lovely comments here. Thank you very much. Let's see if I missed anyone. Is science getting nearer to discovering the truth about life on other planets? Would this be shared openly? I think science knows much more about life on other planets than they are sharing, unfortunately. I came across a CIA paper that was released in 2000, and it was a remote viewer. And he was given coordinates and dates for him to tune in to the conditions on the planet Mars. And it's quite interesting what he found. He found a civilization there, and he found underground they were living. It wasn't very extensive, this paper, but I thought that was very, very interesting. It was only released in 2000, and this remote viewing took place in 1984. But I think gradually, as we explore other planets, and the time will come when we will be able to go to other planets, our consciousness will expand as well. And when the inhabitants of other planets, because they are now living on much higher plane, or much higher frequency of vibration than we do, if they see fit to show themselves, if they think that we deserve it, they will do so, and we will learn a lot from them. And I think gradually this knowledge of life on other planets will become much more widely known as it is now. But people, generally speaking, majority of people believe there must be an intelligent life outside in the universe. We can't be the only people. You know, it just does not make sense whatsoever. And why not in our own solar system? Okay. Yes, very briefly, if I haven't got much time. Katie's saying, can you tell us more about the NASA photos on Mars and they show that looks like vegetation strips, canals, and temples? Again, I'm going to cover this more in depth on our follow-up event, but they are canals, we call them, but they're really vegetation strips on the planet Mars that can stretch from pole to pole. And these ones are quite amazing. Dr. King has seen them when he visited the planet Mars. And they can also move. So I'll leave that for our follow-up event. Thank you very much for all your questions. If I've missed any of them, please feel free to email me, noemi@aetherius.org. I'm very happy to answer them, or even better, why don't you join me on the follow-up event, which is next Wednesday on 16th of March at 6:45 p.m. GMT. And this is really for anyone who would like to explore this topic further, and it will be in a more relaxed and informal setting. I will speak more about the planet Mars, the vegetation on Mars, more about Venus. In fact, I will share with you Dr. King's experience on planet Venus as he visited it in a projected state. And also I'll speak about the Jupiterians. What are they like? And to finish off, tonight at 8 p.m. is our online World Healing Service at 12blessings.org. And during this service, which is dedicated to peace and freedom and healing in Ukraine, we'll be sending out white light, this beautiful white light spiritual energy to that region, which we can all do. And if you don't know the blessings, you can sign up on our website to receive the prayer sheet, or just visualize white light flowing through you, as we did earlier, out through the palms of the hands and through the heart chakra to each focal point. You'll still be making a huge difference by joining in with this World Healing Service. Well, thank you very much, everybody, for joining me, and I hope to see you next Wednesday. God bless you all. Thank you.